probably, almost everyone in this room is probably addicted to, and that's our cell phones. On the average, people are on their cell phones about 3 hours a day, each and every single day. And out of those 3 hours, on the average, 76 minutes is spent on just social media. Now, I know personally, I have found myself on my phone checking my emails and my messages and my texts and my notifications. And then without even thinking about it, I'm rechecking it all. I see you not thinking. I have even caught myself looking at the weather app, and then half an hour later, I'm checking it again as if that partly cloudy prediction for Southern California is going to morph into some major typhoon. Like, what am I doing, people? And you don't have to look at statistics. You just look around you. People are glued on their phones when they're out to dinner with their friends and the family. People, even just when they're with their kids in the park, they're in their phones. And then what drives me crazy, and what all of us have from probably time to time have done, is I see people on their phones texting when they're driving.
Whoa. Illegal.
Yeah, I know. And I wish I could, like, when I see someone behind me, I wish I could reverse honk, but that doesn't work. So I researched this because I realized I feel like I am more neurotic than most people I know. So why are so many people addicted to their cell phones? I came across this article by a human behavior professor named Melody Wilding, and she explains it with something, a conditioning called intermittent reinforcement. And that's what happens. That's what happens when something only happens sometimes and at random intervals. And scientists say that that's the best way to train an animal. And what are we? We're animals. And I want to quote her because I think this quote is pretty poignant. Intermittent reinforcement is at the root of technology obsession. It's the behavioral undercurrent that keeps you checking your device. So those messages, notifications, all of those are little rewards to our brains. And what they come in sometimes and at random intervals. So no wonder if you can relate to sometimes feeling like that mouse clicking away trying to get that reward, you're not alone. So what can we do about it? We don't want to go cold turkey because we're in the 21st century. We're relying on these little easy computers we carry around for both our social and our professional lives. But there are ways to handle it, to cut it back. The first way is to check in with your emotions. Are you bored? Are you frustrated? Are you angry? I know for me sometimes it's boredom. I don't even realize I'm bored. And it's like, oh, I'm just gonna sit, I'm gonna go on YouTube and look at a cute cat video, send it to my mom. And yeah, that in and of itself may be okay, but then we could go down that rabbit hole of then just checking and checking and checking and looking at things. We really are taking away our time, our productivity. So check in with your emotions. And instead of just reaching for your phone, do something that is connecting you more with yourself and with others. And that may mean sitting down, making yourself a cup of coffee or tea and looking out the window and just giving yourself time to contemplate whatever problem you're trying to figure out. And by the way, when you look out the window, at far distances, you're also giving your eyes a rest, your eye muscles a rest from that constant screen time. So you can do that. You can also call a friend and actually process your feelings with a friend. And you can also, in this same vein, just get out there and exercise and kick up your endorphins without bringing your phone. The second tactic that you can use to combat this over-checking habit, and I believe probably everyone already does this, but just to be cognizant of maybe doing it even more, is to turn off your phone when you're with your friends and your loved ones, especially when you're having meals together. And I want to say on top of that, out of sight, out of mind. Either put in your pocket or your purse, because it's too easy to kind of, it draws us. It's like a siren. We look at it, we want to see what's going on. Turn it off when you're driving, of course, because we know that distracted driving with the cell phones leads to accidents. And by all means, turn it off at least an hour, if not more, before bedtime. Okay, do whatever you need to do, check those emails, message someone back, but the blue light of the screen, a lot of you may already know, messes with our melatonin and sleep patterns. So turn it off, do not disturb. Again, out of sight, out of mind, put it in a drawer. Don't even look at it. You can look at it in the morning. The third way to combat the over-checking cell phone thing, and believe me, the reason why I'm giving this speech is because I really do it too much. Even today, even as I was practicing this speech, I was probably doing it too much, but not as much since I've researched this. The third thing is to delete all your social media apps off your phone, or if that's too hard, to delete almost all of them, except for maybe the one you like and use the most. And that will really help decrease that falling down the rabbit hole time you spend on social media. I was at a San Francisco Writers Conference, and the social media experts said that you only, to keep up with your social media responsibility, you only need to go on your platforms, all your platforms, for an hour once a week. So keep that in the back of your mind. So in conclusion, there are ways to combat this. Try to implement them the best you can. Realize that you're not alone, that there is that intermittent reinforcement going on. So be aware of that. And I think that if we can all decrease that over-checking time, that we can all lead more peaceful and productive lives.